Hey guys, I just wanted to follow up with you. I realized that the footprint is due before you guys are back in school, and you also needed this information for your webpage. So I thought I would give you a follow up just to reiterate some of the expectations and to give an additional demonstration on how to do some of the calculations. So I'm just going to go right through the water footprint calculator real quick and pick out a few bits of information that I didn't catch before that I thought was interesting. So I'm just going to kind of stream through these real quickly. It's the same answers that I've given you before, but just a few things that we didn't catch as I was going through this. Down here are some good little informational bits, such as if your house was built or remodeled after 1994, then you probably have low flow shower heads. My house was built in the 1980s, but we have completely taken out all of the shower heads and sink faucets and replaced them, so I do know that they are low flow, and all that was done within the last couple of years. Don't do that. Again, read these little bits of information. It tells you how many gallons of water is wasted by leaving the faucet on in different circumstances. Do you have sinks and low flow faucets? No, I don't do that. Like this is good information. I had assumed at one time that if your toilet had two different settings for your bathroom needs, then that was a low flow toilet. But apparently, if your house has been built or remodeled after 1994, then you may have low flow toilets installed. I did not realize this, but I still have the original toilets in my bathrooms. Kitchen faucet running. Does your kitchen sink have low flow faucets? Yes. I've recently installed a new dishwasher, so I know it's energy efficient. Same with my wash machine. Okay, so somebody had asked me what a gray water system is, and it tells you down here. And I didn't even catch that whenever we was going over the material, but it says a gray water system allows households to reuse water from sinks, showers, and washing machines for outdoor water use. So in other words, it collects the water that we have used as waste, but are still considerably clean, like the water that we bathe with, the water that we wash our hands or brush our teeth with, the water that we wash our clothes in. Now, these aren't, this water isn't capable to be reused for human consumption, but we can water the grass with it. We can wash our car and that kind of thing. No swimming pool. I do own a car. I don't wash my car. And then we get into the virtual water use. So this is not direct use, it's indirect. And as I've told you before, I drive quite a bit. And here it tells you what does water have to do with the consumption of gasoline. It says on average 1 mile driven takes about 3/4 of a gallon of water to be able to produce gasoline. And the reason they ask you for your state is each state has different laws and regulations on how that they acquire electricity. And North Carolina acquires electricity from mostly fossil fuels or natural gas. And as I told you before, I'm a shopaholic, but I do recycle paper. And I thought this was interesting. It says, for you meat eaters, you'll tell us how many servings of meat. On average, the water footprint of a vegan or vegetarian is about half that of a meat eater. And the reason being is, essentially you're having to use the water twice. Not only are you watering the plants in order for the organism or the animal that you're going to eat, you have to water the plants so that they have food, but then that animal also has to have water to be able to survive. So it's double the water use. And I have a dog that I love very much, and my dog requires a high protein diet, which means that they take bits of dried animal pieces, or they may even create what is like a soy product. But in any case, his high protein diet requires a good bit of water. Actually, she's a she. And it doesn't really matter what you click here, they're going to give you the same information regardless. And here I have my water footprint. I use approximately 1,600 gallons per day, which is below the US average. So, yay. And so what you do next is you convert all the information that you get here and here, and you put it onto your availability freshwater table. I've made an example, and my numbers are a little bit different because I went ahead and filled in the table here. And then I also wanted to show you where on the table I've combined your bathroom uses and your kitchen uses. So you would add these numbers together. So if you notice, bathroom sink and brushing your teeth, that's 0 per day for me, as well as under 5 minutes with the low flow faucet. And I also want to scroll down. This is the feedback that they gave for North Carolina. North Carolina is 100% utility power, which is 0% renewable power. So they don't use any type of water renewable energy or wind energy at all. It's all acquired through natural resources, the burning of fossil fuels or natural gas. Okay, so once you have taken all of your answers and collected the data in regards to those answers and put them onto the table, then you're ready to determine your percentages in order to complete your water footprint. So the first thing that you have to do in order to figure out what is the piece of the whole. So in other words, I want to know how much of this, and compared to all my numbers, is my water use for indoor use. So, and just to give you an idea, you can choose to calculate just your indoor use. You can choose to calculate just your outdoor use, but there has to be numbers there. Or you can do just your water use, your virtual water use. Or you can choose to do all of them. It doesn't matter to me, just as long as your data is good data, and you have to tell me on the footprint what it is that you've collected. So I'm going to do my indoor water use, and I've chosen to do indoor water use because I have a good range of data, and it prevents me from having to worry about these negative numbers. You can use virtual water use with negative numbers, but whenever you're illustrating that, you'll have to make it known that these are in your favor. So these numbers are in positives, and they kind of take away from some of these other numbers. So if I was to add these up and say if I got a negative 20, then I would take that away from each of these others. Not 20 each, but divide it up between each of the others. Okay. So I'm just going to do indoor water use. So I got my calculator over here, and I'm going to add up the numbers. 38 plus 6 plus 25 plus 8 plus 4. And that gets me a total of 81. And now I'm going to take each one of these and divide it by 81 because I want to know what percent does this is this over this. So with the first one, 38 divided by 81, and then I multiply that by 100 because it's a percent, and that gets me about 47. So over here I'm going to put 47%. And then I would follow through with each one of these. I'm going to do another screencast to show you how to